Sunday afternoon. It's late-ish. I've already cooked the dinner and cleared up, and the light is fading outside. It's been very grey, and I had hoped to get outside to at least do a few little jobs, but unfortunately my bad back is still bad, and I'm probably a little bit more limited today than I was yesterday. It's just awkward to move. Anyway, I'm sure it was made no better by the fact that I stayed up quite late last night finishing my special weekly email broadcast that I send out to my subscribers. It's called the Little Soprano Sunday Digest. I'm very proud of it. And here we've got a copy on my laptop. And that's a preview that we're looking at there. And every week I compile this thing. I enjoy doing it, but I just don't seem to have got it right just yet, in that I always end up doing it very late on a Saturday and invariably worry about it, so much so that I think it was last week I actually got up. I couldn't sleep, so I got up and finished it in the early hours of the morning and then scheduled it to go out. The idea being behind the Little Soprano Sunday Digest is that it's wonderful when people subscribe and they join my email list, but I always feel I want to be giving something back on a weekly basis, and so I had an idea that I would send out this weekly sort of update, but rather than make it just an ordinary update, I wanted to make it more than that. I realise while I'm filming this that you can hear the dishwasher in the background. Still, never mind, it's real. So I really wanted to send this broadcast out to people who sign up to my email list, because I wanted to put lots of different bits and pieces into the broadcast to make it interesting, not only to people who want to learn how to sing, but I actually have people on my email list who like coming to concerts. And so I like to find things of general interest about music and particularly singing to put in there as well. So it's a bit of a mixture. It's usually made up of things that have happened during the week, and I'm sure that next week I will be mentioning the fact that I've started doing this voice vlog, because sometimes it's really nice for people who only know me via these emails that I send out every week to get to know me as a real person, a real live person, and that definitely is me. So what do I include in these Sunday Digests? Well, it's usually something of something that's happened in one of my groups, perhaps, certainly a blog post or something that I've read during the week that I think is interesting and will be of value to people to read all about, usually about sort of performance issues or vocal technique, or I share music a lot, and in fact I've created dedicated playlists for my different groups so that things that we discuss or items that are brought up or repertoire that's shared, they go on a particular dedicated repertoire playlist on YouTube. So what I do is I actually share links like this one here to a particular YouTube rendition of it, I guess, so a video. And in this instance it was some absolutely beautiful choral music which I had come across during the week, and it kind of sparked lots of conversation, which was very useful. So I put in that, and then I remind everybody that there is a playlist that they can listen to, and in there I put all sorts of things. In fact, some of the other things that I put in there to do with Valentine's Day that happened during the week was that I don't only listen to classical music, not a bit. I have some particular favourites, and of course I listened to quite a lot of it last week, being Valentine's Day and all. And I've got a little excerpt there of Barbra Streisand, and also I have, getting a bit confused here, Frank Sinatra. Now that's a very interesting CD compilation of songs that I've had since 2006, and it's not the usual Frank Sinatra. And that followed me travelling home in the car one night all those years ago, and I listened to a Radio 4 broadcast about him, and if you like, it was the first time that he produced a CD that he felt was like a signature CD, and he was expressing himself in the songs that he chose to do that were pertinent to what was going on in his personal romantic life and his divorce from Ava Gardner, I believe. So beyond that, I'll advertise, I've got a concert coming up in April, which is in Bath, and it's lute song repertoire, and I know that as I say, there are some people who subscribe to the newsletter and they want to know about concerts, so I put that information in there. And I always like to put something really nice to get people thinking, so there will be some infographic that I would have put together at some point, and it's nice just to finish the newsletter on some kind of inspirational tone, and then I give them all sorts of means so that they can actually contact me via all those buttons, and that's their weekly newsletter that they get to me. But I don't like to call it a newsletter, I like to call it a sort of Sunday digest, and really I can put anything in there that I think is worthy or would be of interest. So if I'm running courses, they go in there, or if I've got new products like my 5 essential vocal exercises and the little mini course that I've got available, that goes in there. If there are any special discounts that I'm currently doing, I'll put those in there to my subscribers first. So I think it's really worthwhile doing. I always like to say thank you at the end for their time and attention, because, you know, one of the things you hope to build online is a feeling of trust, and that I would supply value to those people. So even though it was a big ask to do it yesterday with my bad back, to finish it off, and I had to go back and finish it completely before I went to sleep, I woke up this morning feeling pleased that I'd done that. But also, always, it's mixed in with a little bit of fear as to whether they're going to really enjoy it, and it's going to be something that they want to read. So I'm hoping that I would have feedback if there are any other areas that perhaps would be of interest. I don't like to make it too technique heavy, for example, because that's a real specialism of mine, and I feel that I'm not trying to scare people away from singing, I'm trying to encourage them to get involved. And that's really what I'm hoping to do every single time I put a newsletter together. A Sunday digest together. So that's it for today, really. A little bit, even though it's Sunday and I promised myself I wasn't going to do any work, I think it's important to cultivate I'm trying to get this habit of doing a vlog, and I don't find them really very comfortable, but I'm trying to get in the habit, in the hope that I can do some Facebook Live at some point, and not get tongue-tied. So as the light is fading, I am going to quickly go in the garden and just check a few things out. I can see that my lovely daffodils are just starting to come out of their little buds. I really like the small, tiny daffodils, the tete-a-tetes, because when it's windy, they don't blow over. Ever practical me. All right then, until next time. Bye-bye for now.